Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Jackie, and we're with Strange Remains Curio Shop. And today we are going to do a segment on one of our favorite monsters. That's right. We collect a lot of strange, unusual things, and one of the things we like to do is movie memorabilia and also anything related to monsters. So that's what this segment's going to be about.
Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, also known as the modern Prometheus, when she was just 18 years old. And it was originally published anonymously in 1818. And the novel tells the story of Victor Frankenstein, a scientist who creates a being from assembled body parts, only to be horrified by the results, a monstrous creature that ultimately seeks revenge on its creator.
That'll happen. That will happen.
So that's why we don't have kids.
Yes, yes, it is. You create something and it turns evil. So it was adapted in 1823 to the stage, where they did plays based around it. And then in 1931, they is when the first actual Frankenstein movie came out, and that's when we really got the great iconic image of Frankenstein as we all know it today.
Yeah, this film was just called Frankenstein and it was by Universal
Hmm.
Studios. It was directed by James Whale.
Hmm. And it also had the master special effects artist Jack Pierce, who created Frankenstein. He also did the Mummy, the makeup for the Mummy and the Wolfman, and a bunch of other stuff. He was a head guy at Universal at the time.
Yeah, and the first prop or collectible that we want to show out of our collection is an old photograph from
Hmm.
the set of that Frankenstein film from 1931. This is Jack Pierce doing the makeup on Boris Karloff, who portrayed the monster in this movie.
Hmm. And it's just such a great image. I mean, that's doesn't get any better than that. So now the second prop we want to show you guys is actually this one right here. And we'll do a close-up of it while we're talking about it. This is allegedly a prop from the 1935 Bride of Frankenstein. Um, we acquired this when we had a shop in Vegas, and there was a guy who saw us on TV. We were on the news down there, and this guy called me up and told me, "Hey, I got this prop from this old movie. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." And he came down, brought it in. He was a retired police officer. Um, so it's an interesting piece. We've been trying to find any authenticity to it. We haven't found any yet, unfortunately. But it is also, in the 30s. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, and based on the globe that it's in, the base work and everything, and the materials used in the display, it matches the time period.
Hmm.
So, The Bride of Frankenstein was a sequel to the 1931 film Frankenstein. Boris Karloff still played Frankenstein. And The Bride of Frankenstein was made in 1935. And the feature sequels Elsa Lanchester in the dual role of Mary Shelley and The Bride of Frankenstein. And I love The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes.
And I have my hair, I read that in my research that the hairdo for Bride of Frankenstein was inspired by Nefertiti.
Yes. And we will be doing a video on Egyptian stuff, as we have a lot of artifacts as well.
Yeah.
So,
This hand also is featured on our book that
hmm.
we will be discussing.
Hmm. Yes, yes. We have a book that's all about strange stories from the road, as we spent years on the sideshow and the circus. So that's a whole nother video right there, though.
Yeah.
Another prop is this big old green hand. This is actually from a wax museum. They traveled to carnivals and stuff like that. A lot of them were called the Chamber of Horrors and whatnot. And it featured old iconic horror movie characters, one of them being Frankenstein. And this came out of one of the Chamber of Horrors attractions. Um, I wish they had them nowadays, but they don't. Wax museums are pretty much a thing of the past, except for I think Madame Tussauds is about the really only wax museum around.
And we have a lot of different wax pieces
Mhm.
from these old closed down wax museums and old collectibles. We'll also be doing videos about that in the future too.
Yes, yes, we will. And then we also have this Frankenstein mask that's by Trick or Treat Studio. We like this one because it's definitely closer to the more original Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster, compared to a lot of the other ones. So,
Yeah, a lot of people talk about Frankenstein,
mhm.
and then other people are like, it's Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, that's right.
Frankenstein was a scientist.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
get it right.
it's the monster.
Don't look like a tool.
That's right. And so now we also want to show you some things because, as artists and what we do, Frankenstein has definitely, Frankenstein's monster has definitely inspired us in some of our artwork. And so we want to show you a few pieces of ours, things that we sell that were inspired. So we have these monster babies. We do a full series of these. We have the mummy. Um, We have Frankenstein's monster, and then we do a little vampire,
Hellraiser.
little Hellraiser. They're pretty fun. So, and then we have light switch covers. Ooh, that's right. We do these cool little light switch covers, and we even have the double.
Yeah, and the one for the new switches.
Got
We're
a little
trying to
square,
be
yeah.
adaptable. We make these out of resin.
Yep, each one is hand painted after we cast it, and then shipped to your door. So hey, there's that.
Yeah, and these and well, some of these
Mhm.
and the Monster Baby are available on our Etsy shop for purchase.
Mm-hmm. Or you can email us direct, and we can go that way as well. And go to our website, which is www.strangeremainscurioshop.com.
We also have our bigger art piece, the Frankenstein's Monster Deer
Yes,
version.
which is right behind me, and we'll get you a good close up of this guy. These are pretty fun to make. I've made a couple of them over the years. This one I don't know if we're gonna sell or not because I kind of like this one a lot, and it'd be hard to part with. But you know what? Money talks. Let's be honest.
You know, we made one originally. I think we do have a picture of it we could
Mm-hmm.
insert in video.
Mm-hmm.
Insert girder
Mm-hmm.
here. That one was sold in, was it Seattle or Portland?
One of the two.
At the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. Some lucky gentleman and his friend just walked up and said,
That one. I want it.
So this is, that one was an antelope.
Yes.
This is a deer.
Yeah.
And we put on this large base. So yeah, maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we won't.
You never know.
Yeah, so we're really big fans of Frankenstein, the story, and there's so many different layers and meanings and things behind it. And he's such a cool character.
Yeah.
There's so many different film versions. It continues through the 50s and, you know, through the 80s up until now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different interpretations.
Yeah. And we would love to know which version is your favorite. You know, what movie you like the best or book. And
yeah, we're going to share more of our museum and our collectibles and the history of all things strange.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of these.